Okay, so this is where you really want to pull into the earth and water elements. You want to ground, you want to get outside, you want to get into nature, you want to breathe. Make sure you're practicing conscious breath work. Hold space for those in your life that are spiraling. Let them hold space for you when it's your turn. Have a good cry if you need to. Hug your loved ones. Spend time with them. Laugh. Turn off the damn TV. Don't watch the news all the time. It's not going to help you. Take good care of the physical self, the physical body. Because the emotional body is going to be feeling everything. And that, guess what? That physical body, as we all know, is the receptacle. Think about a positive intention that you would like to set. It can be for yourself, and then you can also set one for the world. Because on November 13th, we have our new moon in Scorpio. Here's the chart for this new moon. It takes place at 4:27 a.m. Eastern Time. I have this set for my location, but you can obviously set this for wherever you are in the world. And it takes place at 20 degrees and 43 minutes of Scorpio. You can see right here, the sun and the moon are aligned perfectly, which is what happens when we have a new moon. It starts the next lunar cycle. And the first thing I want to mention is that there's a lot of power to this new moon, okay? Lots of power. It is not an eclipse, but it is powerful. And so, yes, I think it is wise to set intentions and manifest cautiously. But like I mentioned in the beginning, it's really important to be vibing on what you do want and coming at it from the love vibration and not the fear vibration, okay? So set an intention for yourself personally, and then also set an intention for the collective. I think the more of us that do this, we all know energy is everything, right? We all feed off of each other. And as I'm talking about this, the song Heal the World by Michael Jackson is going over and over and over in my mind. So I highly suggest that you go and you read the lyrics to that song, listen to the words of that song and vibe on that. Okay, but this new moon, so it's at the 20th degree of Scorpio, which puts it in the last third of Scorpio, which is known as the last decan. So without getting too technical, what that basically means is that yes, it's a Scorpio new moon, but it takes on a Cancer, the zodiac sign of Cancer vibration. And so it makes it even a little bit more personal, as if it's not feeling personal enough, okay? It makes it a little bit more emotionally in tune, a little bit more sensitive to what we really crave in our reality, what we feel like we don't have that we really, really want, and especially where that pertains to intimacy, emotional intimacy, physical intimacy, and spiritual intimacy. Where are we not being fed of that? Or where do we feel like we're lacking with that, I should say? All right, so here we go. We've got this new moon over here at 2043 of Scorpio, and then we see Mars right here at 22 degrees, 11 minutes of Scorpio. So this is a new moon conjunct Mars. Remember what I said. Mars is pure force, drive, energy, heat, passion. It can also be aggression. It can be where we fight. And the thing about Scorpio is that it's very strategic. And so sometimes you won't even see it coming. Think about the scorpion, right? It just stings, it bites, it strikes. So a new moon conjunct Mars in and of itself can definitely bring in a very powerful energy. And then the other thing is that it's in opposition to Uranus. Remember we talked about that, 21 degrees of Uranus, okay? Opposite the new moon, Mars conjunction. Now, I'm going to err on the side of positivity here that this is great for personal projects. This is great for focus and drive and thinking of things a different way, and determination and energy. But in the lower vibration, this is a very hot-headed, hot-button temperamental energy. Very heated up. We've also got Ceres over here at 24 degrees of Scorpio. And Ceres is a planet, actually a dwarf planet, that speaks to nurturance. And more importantly, she speaks to crops and grains and agriculture. So it's quite possible that we will be hearing a lot regarding the food supply. You know, we could have something due to weather, perhaps some flooding, wet weather, or anything like erupting, earthquakes, volcanoes. You know, this is that kind of energy. I'm going to pray that that's not the case. But looking at this chart and knowing astrology and just energy in general, it's a strong energy here, okay, of disruption on the financial and meteorological fronts. So maybe we may be experiencing some sort of crop ruin, you know, or just a little bit of disruption to the food supply for some reason. And we might not. Now, personally speaking, this could tend to your emotional world, right? Because Ceres is all about how we nurture ourselves or how we need and want, desire to be nurtured by others, how we might or might not be. And with all this Scorpio, it can just be more of an internal and emotional process. Now, again, I have to say, there's the potential for some really intense energy right now and very turbulent feelings, a roller coaster ride of emotions. And it could be personally speaking, and then of course, due to the collective energy, it could be both. There could be a lot, like I mentioned, coming up around finances because of the Taurus and Scorpio energy here, and they are both signs that mostly deal with finances. Venus is also now in Libra. Venus rules finances. And Venus is in a quincunx to Jupiter over here at 9 degrees of Taurus, and Jupiter's retrograde. So that just means, Jupiter builds things up. Jupiter makes things bigger. Jupiter can inflate things. So inflation of these issues, having to make adjustments, because the inconjunct aspect or the quincunx is all about making adjustments to make something work. Now, the other thing with this opposition to Uranus is all about freedom. It's about our rights. It's about liberation. And in Taurus, it also has a lot to do with the weather, with the earth, and with our money, our finances. There is more than likely going to be a greater increase of seismic activity at this time, and hopefully not, but don't be surprised with a lot of internet disturbances, okay? Maybe some cyber attacks. I know that that's already been happening. Glitches to technology, to computers, travel delays. No, it's not Mercury retrograde, but it might seem like it, and even more disruptive than that at times. Now, live your life. This is not to say, live in fear. Live your life, but just be vigilant. Because even though Mercury is not retrograde, right? Because Mercury is the planet that rules over technology and information and travel and communication. We have Mercury over here at 4 degrees of Sagittarius in a funky aspect to Uranus over here at 21 degrees of Taurus. And this aspect, the way that these two planets are connecting, or not connecting, I should say, speaks to, again, just potential disruptions with the travel industry, with aviation, technology, again, computers, and then top that off with the solar flares that we are experiencing and have been experiencing. This brings in energy to our power grids. And then Saturn over here at 0 degrees of Pisces, now direct, is also squaring Mercury here at 4 degrees of Sagittarius. And so this just enhances all of this energy of potential restrictions or blockages or delays that we could come up against, could being the operative word. The other way that this Saturn-Mercury square can play out for you is that maybe you find something out about somebody in your reality. Maybe somebody's been lying to you and you figure it out with all the Scorpio energy. You're digging, researching, and you figure something out and it's like, shh, you can't say anything. Now, again, this could also be collective. Information could come out that is not good for people in positions of power. Saturn, that is our authority figures. Mercury in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a fire sign that is all about truth and authenticity. And also in a higher vibration, it's about the law. So Mercury here is the truth teller, right? And in a square to Saturn, it's like, well, maybe people don't want that truth to be told. So again, watch for what you hear around this time, both personally and collectively. Another thing that I have to bring up, the more I'm digging into this new moon chart, the more I'm like, whoosh, this is a lot of energy. So again, maybe I should just stop this here and tell you, set intentions for yourself personally and set positive intentions for us collectively. Pray, meditate, hold space for the world, hold space for your loved ones, because this is just a lot. But now I feel like I have to keep going. So if you don't want me to, if you don't want to hear any more of this and it's freaking you out, just, go to the next part of this video. But I'm going to just finish up here. We've got Mars, 22 degrees of Scorpio, like I mentioned, and Mars is in an inconjunct or quincunx aspect to this North Node Eris conjunction that I've been talking about for months. Look at this, almost exact North Node conjunct Eris. Opposite the South Node in Libra, so what are we letting go of? Where do we need to go to come into our true power? And Mars is the warrior, okay? Now remember, Mars rules over both Aries, over here where the North Node and Eris are, and Scorpio. So this makes Mars even more powerful here. And again, we can just see a lot around protesting and fighting for our rights, for individual rights. Lots of truth coming to the surface, lots of secrets being revealed. So it's really important to SDR, and that's not stop, drop, and roll. It's stop, drop, and reflect. You have to take it inward. Positively speaking, we've got Neptune in a beautiful trine aspect to this new moon Ceres and Mars conjunction over here. Beautiful. Again, listen to Michael Jackson's song, Heal the World, or just listen to another song that you think of when I'm talking about this. Pay attention to the signs as they come in for you. But this Neptune trine to the new moon and Mars in Ceres is really a beautiful aspect. It's very hopeful. It's very dreamy. Neptune is also in an ongoing sextile right now with Pluto, which can also help us out here. And then also in a sextile to Uranus. So again, this just brings in an energy of healing and focusing on what we can do. I invite you to reflect on this quote. Individually, we are one drop. Together, we are an ocean. And Neptune is the god of the sea. Neptune is all about water. Neptune is all about sacrifice. Neptune is all about idealism. So let's vibe on creating a better world for all of us, for our children. grandchildren. Because let's face it, that's what all of us worry about more than we worry about ourselves, right? So this Neptune aspect really is a heal the world aspect, or at least that's the vision. So let's continue to vibe on that.